All right, so today is Module 3, Lesson 6 that we're going to be learning about, and we're also going to be going over the homework from Module 3, Lesson 5. Okay, so starting out here, just a reminder, this is what your quiz is going to be on tomorrow. So all of these kind of things, there's going to be 10 questions. There's going to be questions like 1 and 2, 2 like 3, 2 like 4, 2 like 5, and 2 like 6. Okay, we're also going to go over them in the beginning of class tomorrow before you take that quiz. This is just a reminder here. Okay, so you have, you also should be answering these. You should be inputting your answers on that eDoctrina thing that I sent out to you guys, or that I had you guys sign up for in the beginning of class today. So make sure you put your answers in there. Let's practice. That's what you're going to be doing for your quiz tomorrow. So I want to just make sure you're practicing that, okay? So number 1 here, you're just combining like terms. So you have negative 2x plus 4x. So both of these are actually already like terms. I don't need to do anything crazy here. So I have negative 2 plus 4, which is going to be a positive 2. And then I keep my x. All right, 2, we have 5x plus 7x. So if you have 5 x's and then you have 7 more x's, you have 12 x's. All right, so moving on to 3. So these are parentheses here, but you have addition in the middle. When you have addition, you could basically just drop those parentheses. You don't need to rewrite this unless you would like to. But if you do, it looks something like this. So this here is just an x. It's the same thing as saying we have 1x, okay? So now we're going to combine like terms. That means we add our x's together and add our regular numbers together. So I box in the x's. I have 4x plus 1x. So altogether, I have 5x. And then I have 10, a positive 10 because it's a plus 10, plus 7. So 10 plus 7 gives you 17, and it's a positive 17, so it's plus 17. I don't keep going here. I don't get a 22. This is done. 5x plus 17. It's like having 5 teachers and 17 apples. You combine them together, they're different things. Okay? So for number 4 here, we have subtraction. So we have to do an extra step before we can box and circle or stack them. If you like stacking them, that is fine. Just a reminder, it would be 4x plus 10 and x plus 7. And in the end, you still get the same thing here. Okay, so whichever process you like better, I generally box and circle, but if stacking helps, do that stacking. Okay, so here we want to keep change first. So, but it's going to, you keep the whole front, change, change, change. So you change each part of the question. So the keeps stay, so 2x plus 7. This minus becomes a plus. The negative 3x becomes positive 3x, and minus 10 becomes plus 10. Okay, from there, I have 2 x's, and then I have plus 3x, so I have a total of 5 x's again. Oh, that's really weird. And then I have plus 7, plus 10. So you have the same answer as 3. That doesn't normally happen. This is just a special case where my brain does that when I make these problems sometimes. Okay, so positive 7 plus 10 gives you positive 17, so it's plus 17. If you had wanted to stack this, 2x plus 7, you keep, change first, and then 3x plus 10. When you stack them, you get it the same way here. Okay. All right, number 5, this is distributing, so you're just multiplying. So negative 2 times negative 6, this is spun. Negative times positive is negative. 2 times 6 is 12. We keep our x. So I carry down the plus. Negative 2 times positive 5 is a negative 10. And this just stays like this. No like terms are happening here, so we're done. So number 6, so this is going to be worded like this. It might tell you to write as a product of 2 values. Okay, that means the same thing. It means we're going to have blank. It's going to look something along the lines of this. I have a plus here because there's a plus here. So this is where I want to find my factors of 10 and 35. So 10, my factors are 1, 2, 5, and 10. 35, I have 1, 3, doesn't work, 4, 5, 7, and 35. Greatest common factor, greatest factor they share that's in common is a 5. So to find these missing things, I divide these by 5. So 10x divided by 5 gives you 2x. 35 divided by 5 gives you 7. So 5 times 2x plus 7 is your answer. Okay. If you're all good with this, all set with this, go ahead and move on to that homework. So the homework we will be going over is homework 43. Nope, sorry. Homework 44. Okay, that was the one from last night. So write the sum and then rewrite the expression in standard form by removing parentheses, collecting like terms. So sum, we're just adding these together. Like terms, we have 6 and -6, which actually gives you 0. So they'll kind of just cross out, and you're just left with p, or 1p. Okay. Sum again, 10w plus 3 plus a -3, because they said to find the sum. Sum is addition. Okay. So like terms here, plus 3 plus -3. Again, those cancel each other out, and you're just left with 10w. Those are actually additive inverses. Additive inverses add to 0. So like 6 and -6 add to 0. All right, so here, -x minus 10 plus the opposite of -11. Opposite of -11 is +11. So I have -x minus 11 plus 11. So box this in. Notice I'm boxing in the symbol before. So -11 plus 11 cancel, and you're just left with -x. Okay. Opposite of 4x is -4x. And we're adding 3 plus 4x. So you have -4x plus 4x. Those are opposites. They cancel. So we're left with +3. Or we normally just write 3. Okay? Because these cancel would give you 0 plus 3, so it's 3. So 2g. And the opposite of this. So opposite of this, opposite of 1 is -1. Opposite of minus 2g is plus 2g. So 2g plus -1 plus 2g. So like terms, 2g plus 2g, so it's 4g total, then plus a -1. So down here we have product, and then the same thing. So write in standard form, so we just want as simple as possible. So multiplicative inverse means flipped fraction. So 7h minus 1, so a product means we're multiplying. And then inverse of 7, 7 is 7 over 1, so inverse is 1 over 7. So if we distribute this in, it's okay that we're going backwards. 7 times 1/7 is actually just 1h. Then 1 times 1/7 is 1/7. So you can write it with or without the 1 in the front. Okay. B, multiplicative inverse of -5, so -5 over 1. So that gives you -1/5 times 10v minus 5. -1/5 times 10, if you need to do the multiplication on the side. 10 is 10 over 1, so we get -10 over 5, so that's a -2. We keep our v. Right, now we do -1/5 times -5, so same signs positive. 1/5 times 5, or 5 over 1, is 1. Okay. C, 9 minus b, multiplying it by the multiplicative inverse of 9. So 9 over 1, so 1/9. Distribute that in. 9 times 1/9 is just 1. Minus b times 1/9, so 1/9 b. And multiplicative inverse of 1/4, we flip the fraction. We get 4 times 5t minus 1/4. 4 times 5t is 20t minus 4 times 1/4 is actually just 1. So 4 over 1 times 1 over 4, 4 over 4, which is 1. Okay. All right, so if there are no questions on this, we are moving on to lesson 6. So this is the last lesson in our packet. Your homework is the last homework in this packet here. So you will be getting a new packet on Thursday after your quiz. Okay, so moving on from here. We're not on lesson 4. Sorry, wrong packet. So we are here. So collecting rational number like terms. So this is just like terms that we've been doing, but now we have fractions that we're going to be working with. So we've talked about this before. They teach you how to do something, then they throw fractions in it and have you do it again. Okay. So starting out here, Terry weighs 40 kilograms. Janice weighs 2 3/4 kilograms less than Terry. What is their combined weight? So Terry is 40. Janice is 40 minus 2 3/4. So you would need common denominators here. So $40 over 1 is going to be out of 4. So times 4 times 4. 160 over 4. This one is C for cookie. 8, so 11 out of 4. So this is Janice's weight. So 160 minus 11 is going to be 149 out of 4. Okay, 149 out of 4 goes in 3 times, which is 12 with 2 left. Carry the 9 down. That's going to go in 7 times, which is 28. 1 left. So 37 and 1/4 is Janice. Then we're going to add that to the 40, which is Terry. Okay, 37 plus 40 is 77, so 77 1/4 kilograms. That was a little bit of a weird question there. Okay, so 2. So all we're doing here is just practicing different skills here. So we're going to move here. Mr. O'Connor's class is very loud today. So 1/5 plus -4. So this is just, we want to get common denominators here. So your common denominator is going to be 5. So -4 times 5 is -20. 1 plus -20 is -19 over 5. So 19, top in the box, goes in 3 times, which is 15, with 4 left. Keep our negative. 3 4/5 is our answer to 3. So 4, we're just practicing skills here, so multiplying 4 times 3/5. So 4 over 1 times 3 over 5. 4 times 3 is 12. 1 times 5 is 5. So we go fishing. Goes in 2 times. 2 left. 2 and 2/5. Okay, so we're just practicing skills there before we distribute and combine like terms and do all that other stuff. Okay. So we're going to skip 5 as well. So you do not have to do 2 and 5. We're just crossing them out. So we're moving on to example 1. So they want you to collect like terms, which is the same thing as saying combine like terms. These are all n's, so all of these are actually going to be added together. Keep the same order. You can add them in a different order. It really doesn't matter. So we'll just start off by doing 2/3 minus 3/4. So common denominator would be 12 here. So to get from 3/4 to out of 12, we multiply by 3, so 9/12. Here we multiply by 4. 8/12 minus 9/12 is a -1/12 n. And you still have your 1/6 n plus 2 2/9 n. Okay, so we just got to keep going. I'm going to do these two next. So this is going to stay. 1/6. It's going to become 2/12 n. I'm going to add these two together next. Negative 1/12, positive 2/12 is positive 1/12. Okay, so I ran out of room and did this one pretty sloppy, so I apologize for that. So here, you want to get common denominators. I can pause and put them back together. Okay. So you want to get common denominators here. So you have 12 and 9. Common denominator is actually going to be 36. Okay. So that's going to be 3 out of 36. This C is for cookie would be 20 out of 9. And then we want to get it to 36. So times 4. 80 out of 36. N. Hello. So like terms, we have common denominator, so we get 83 out of 36 n. And then 83 divided by 36 is going to go in 2 times, which is 72 with 11 left. So 2 and 11/36. And so that was a long one. So just, be mindful of that. We're moving on to the next page. The ones in your homework aren't that crazy, promise you. Maybe 1 or 2 of them, but we'll take care of that. So we are flipping here. Okay. So we're going to do B, right? You're going to go ahead and do A after, but I'm going to do B with you because it's longer. So we want to look at our like terms here. So you have I's, and then you have H's. So I would actually write these separate. I plus 6I minus 3/7 I plus 1/2 I, and then do all your H's together after. So 1/3 H minus H plus 1/4 H. Okay, so this is, we'll start off here. I plus 6I is going to be 7I minus 3/7 I plus 1/2 I. So it doesn't matter where you go from here. We'll do 6 out of 14I plus 7 out of 14I. Mr. O'Connor is very loud. Shocking. Negative 6/14 I plus 7/14 I. I'm going to give you 1/14 I. Then you have your 7I. So all together here you get 7 and 1/14 I. Okay. Here, 1/3 H minus 1H plus 1/4 H. So 1/3 H minus 3/3 H. So these ones are going to give you negative 2/3 H plus 1/4 H. Common denominators are 12. Okay, so this times 4 becomes negative 8. Times 3 becomes 3. So negative 5/12 H, because negative 8 plus 3 is negative 5. So putting it all together at the end, 7 and 1/14 I, do plus a negative 5/12 H, just adding them back together. Okay, so that was a long-winded one. I do want you to go to A. With A, your G's get added, and then your regular numbers get added after that. Okay, so we've been doing this stuff. We haven't been doing it with fractions yet, but it's absolutely able to be done. You can use calculators for this if you would like. Just make sure you're typing it in correctly. Okay, so if you were typing in the stuff here, you would just do the 1 and the 6, and then you do 7 minus 3/7. You're not doing any I's, not using any other letters. It's not going to work right if you try and do that. Okay. All right, so we're going to skip again these ones. Go to the back page. I'll let you know what we're doing from there. Okay, So I do want you to try these ones. I will give you a hint to kind of set up on these. So really what you want to do is you want to take care of this first, and you want to distribute out there before you add that in. So you would just carry this one down, okay? And then continue to work through. And you may use calculators on this. So 3 1/3 times 1/2. Don't worry about doing this all by hand. Calculators are allowed. I will tell you that there's no numbers on your test tomorrow that are fractions on your quiz, sorry. There are no fractions on there. We're going to be just building up with the fractions as we move through. So you should be able to do the same thing with these problems with fractions that if you didn't have fractions. Same process, and you are allowed calculators, okay? So distribute these out, combine like terms from there, call me over if you need me to help you with that. Same thing down here, boxing this in because you're distributing this out and carrying this straight down, okay? So anything after the minus or a plus here is what would happen. So here, it's plus 1/3, so this is what you distribute out. And you keep the front and carry it straight down. And then whatever you get from there, you bring down and then box and circle or stack them, whichever you would like, okay? So you are finishing out these 3 questions and then going through anything else in this packet that you need to, studying for tomorrow. So really there's no one that should be doing nothing that's math related, because if you're done with this entire packet, you're going to go back, look at different questions, especially from lessons 1 through 4. In particular, those are really more the focus on the test because they're the ones that look like this on their quiz. Sorry, I keep saying test. So redo these problems, rework through this stuff. That's how you study for your quiz. That's how you study for math, is to redo these problems. So go back through these, redo them, separate sheet of paper, check them again, ask me for help. That's why I'm here. So you should be busy doing something the last little bit of class today. And then tomorrow we will be taking that quiz. Your homework is this last sheet here and to study. So just a couple hints here. So if you're doing something like letter H, you want to get common denominators here. Okay, your common denominator would be 10, so it would be times 2. So this whole thing is times 2. So 6x plus 4, and then you add your tops. Okay, I will cross out f. That is a very long fraction one. But other than that, you have time in class to be working on these. So that's the expectation, is that you're working through these problems if you are done with the ones from in the packet, okay? All right, have fun.